You know it, you've probably eaten it. It's the simple, wholesome start to the day for millions. A humble bowl of cereal. Some of you might even have a box in your pantry right now. But what do we really know about it? Where did it come from? And more importantly, why was its original goal not just to make a healthy breakfast, but to create a food so bland it would curb impure thoughts and specifically stop people from masturbating? If you think the answer is simple, you're not totally wrong, but also not totally right. Because Corn Flakes are a curious concoction that blends a religious health crusade, a bizarre accident, and a bitter family feud into one crunchy and world-changing thing we know today. So get ready, because we're about to uncover the strange, sweet, and storied journey of Corn Flakes. Before we go all the way back, let's look at what we have now. Corn flakes are toasted flakes of processed corn, often lightly sweetened with sugar or malt flavoring. Its taste is simple, crunchy, and slightly malty. It's a fixture in our homes and the grandfather of the entire modern breakfast cereal industry. But the corn flakes of today are a world away from where they started. To understand how we got here, we have to go back to its roots. Corn flakes actually have medicinal roots. Before they became a household item, they were a kind of prescribed health food at a world-famous medical spa, the Battle Creek Sanitarium in Michigan. It was run by the brilliant, eccentric, and deeply religious Dr. John Harvey Kellogg. A devout Seventh-day Adventist, Dr. Kellogg believed in a holistic approach to health called biologic living. He preached that a plain vegetarian diet was the key to physical, moral, and spiritual purity. He saw the heavy, greasy, meat-filled breakfasts of the Victorian era as a source of indigestion and, more importantly, moral corruption. His early foods were not made for pleasure, but for health, serving as a clean alternative to what he believed were passion-inflaming foods that led to evils like the solitary vice. This brings us to the part that throws people off. Why was this food specifically meant to stop masturbation? Dr. Kellogg was a leading figure in a 19th century moral crusade against the act, which he believed caused everything from epilepsy and heart disease to poor posture and acne. He wrote extensively that rich, spicy, and stimulating foods inflamed the passions and led to impure thoughts. Therefore, the perfect diet to promote chastity had to be as bland and unexciting as possible. The original Kellogg's Flakes, made without a single grain of sugar, were the ultimate anti-aphrodisiac. They were designed to be a passion-killing food, a way to cleanse the body and soul, starting at the breakfast table. The goal wasn't deliciousness, it was dietary purity. Corn flakes, as we know them, owe everything to a famous accident. In 1894, Dr. Kellogg and his younger brother, Will Keith Kellogg, who managed the sanitarium's business affairs, were experimenting with boiled wheat. They left a batch to sit for too long and it went stale. When they tried to force the stale dough through rollers, expecting long sheets, it instead broke apart into individual flattened flakes. Intrigued, they toasted the flakes and served them to patients. They were an instant hit. The brothers later perfected the process using corn, which created an even crispier flake. But this is where the story splits. John Harvey, the doctor, saw the flakes as a health food for his patients. Will Keith, the businessman, saw global commercial potential. He had an idea that his brother found appalling: add sugar. But as the flakes went mainstream, something fundamental changed. the most defining quality of the early flakes was their blandness. Will Keith knew that to sell to the public, they needed to taste good. The addition of sugar became the source of an epic controversy and a lifelong feud between the brothers. John Harvey was horrified, believing that sugar undermined the entire health and purity mission of his invention. Will was adamant that sugar was the key to building an empire. The feud escalated into lawsuits over the use of the Kellogg name. Will Keith ultimately won, founding the Battle Creek Toasted Corn Flake Company in 1906, which would become the Kellogg's we know today. This shift, adding sugar and using mass marketing, was the single most important moment in creating the modern, often sugary, breakfast industry. Interestingly, our version of sweetened breakfast cereal is a distinctly American phenomenon that Kellogg successfully exported to the world. It fundamentally changed what billions of people consider a normal breakfast. But just as the industrial version took over, a counter-movement began. In recent decades, nutritionists, parents, and health advocates have led a push against the very thing that made Kellogg's a success: sugar. The modern debate about high-sugar cereals for children brings the story full circle. This new movement seeks to bring back healthier, low-sugar options, echoing Dr. John Harvey Kellogg's original mission for a healthy breakfast, minus his bizarre moral reasoning, of course. We are now living in an age of choice, from the classic sweetened flakes to a new generation of health-focused cereals. So, were Corn Flakes really invented to stop people from masturbating? To put it simply, yes, that was the original intent. What began as a bland, medicinal food for patients in a religious sanitarium transformed into a completely different mass-market product thanks to a kitchen accident and a bitter family feud. The original purpose remains a bizarre historical footnote, a nod to its strange origins, not its modern identity. So, there you have it, the strange, sweet, and storied journey of Corn Flakes. It's not quite what it started as, but it has a century of family drama and scientific philosophy behind it, and a place in our culture that still sparks curiosity today. It reminds us that even the simplest things, like a bowl of cereal, can have surprisingly deep roots. What do you think? What other simple things have a history you'd like us to explore? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.